will see how to write the block diagram for any given electrical network. Now, normally what we do here is we will take the mechanical system, then for the mechanical system we'll write the mechanical network, then for the mechanical network we'll write the mechanical equations, then for the mechanical equations we will try to find out the analogous electrical equations for those mechanical equations, and then finally we do write the electrical network based on the electrical equations. So I hope these things I have already explained in the previous videos, how to write the analogous network for any given mechanical system. So after that, to find out the transfer function for any given mechanical system, we will try to write the block diagram for the electrical equivalent network that we wrote for the mechanical system. Okay, so I don't take all those things how to write the electrical network and all, because we have done already that in the previous video. I will directly start from the electrical network. I have just taken an example of electrical network which you can see on the screen here. So we are going to try to write the block diagram for this particular electrical network. Okay, so in this video you will just see the block diagram representation of any electrical network. Then in the next video I will tell you the steps involved in reducing the block diagram. Okay, so we call it as block diagram reduction techniques. We use those reduction techniques for the block diagram, and then we finally derive the transfer function for the given mechanical system. So this is the overall flow that you can see in block diagram representation, or the whatever the analogous network, and then whatever it happens, that is what the flow which I told you now. Okay, so firstly we look into this electrical network where you see R1, R2, R3 and R4 is given. So how to represent this into block is, first of all we need to mention all those parameters that we normally calculate in the given electrical network. So here what we do here is we will try to first write the Laplace equivalent of this time domain network. So always anyhow for this network we have only resistances here, so we don't have any problem in writing for time domain itself. But when you have a capacitor and inductor, so as I told you in the previous video, while writing the transfer function for any given electrical network, we have seen that the frequency domain or the Laplace transformed network would be much easier than the time domain network that we come across. Okay, so therefore I'll just write the Laplace equivalent network here. So R1, R3, R2, R4 remains to be the same values, it doesn't change. Only if there is an inductor and capacitor we should bother. So here this would be V1 of S, this would be V1 of S, this is R1, R2, R3, R4, and this would be V out of S. This would be V out of S. Now if I have a current I1, because we do have a two different mesh here, so therefore I'll take I1 and I2 as the two mesh. Anyway, V out of T, here it is open, therefore the current in this loop will definitely remain to be 0. So therefore I'll say here I1 of S, whereas here I2 of S. Okay, so that are the two Laplace equivalent current values that we have for this particular electrical network. Now what we do, as usual, we'll write the KVL for both the loops. So let me write the KVL equations. Let me write the KVL equations. So it is V1 of S. So let me write the KVL for this particular loop. V1 of S minus R1 into I1 of S minus R1 into I1 of S minus R2 into I1 of S minus I2 of S. R2 into I1 of S minus I2 of S equals 0. So that would be the equation for this particular loop. Therefore I would say V1 of S minus I1 of S into R1 plus R2 plus R2 into I2 of S equals 0. R2 into I2 of S equals 0. So therefore I1 of S would be equal to, so here let me take I1 of S, because after V1 of S the next response is I1 of S, and then the next response is here the V, let me take Vx. So at this point it is V out only. At this particular point it is V out of S only. Therefore I need not to mention that node. So anyway, there will be a different voltage drop at this node, so I'll take that as Vx. So I1 of S into R1 plus R2 equals V1 of S plus R2 into I2 of S. Therefore I1 of S equals V1 of S by, so V1 of S into 1 over R1 plus R2 plus I2 of S into R2 by R1 plus R2. So this would be the equation for I1 of S, which I1 of S which we have written. So let me write I1. So let me consider this as equation 1. Okay, now let me write the equation for the next loop. So this is loop 1. Let me write for next loop. Loop 2. So here in loop 2 I will have R3 into I2 of S, R3 into I2 of S minus I have R4 into, as it is open, I2 of S is the only current flows through R4, therefore minus R4 into I2 of S. Then I have another component loop 2 which is minus R2 into I2 of S minus I1 of S minus R2 into I2 of S minus I1 of S equals 0. Therefore I'll take I2 of S common. If I take that, I'll get R3 minus R4 minus R2 minus of minus plus R2 into I1 of S equals 0. Therefore I will be getting I2 to be equal to, so it is, sorry, this is also minus actually, this should also be minus. So I'll just take minus I2 of S, so this all becomes plus. See, the drop which we always take in negative, therefore this should also be minus, not plus. So therefore I2 of S into R2 plus R3 plus R4 equals R2 into I1 of S. Therefore I2 of S would be equal to R2 divided by R2 plus R3 plus R4 into I1 of S into I1 of S. Finally, if I write the equation for V out definitely be equal to what? The current through R4, which is I2 of S, multiplied by R4, Now let us write the block for individual equations. So we have in equation 1, we have, this is equation 2, and then this is equation 3. So let us write the individual block for all the 3 equations. So first equation is what? I1 of S equals V1 of S. So it is the summation of V1 of S term plus I2 of S term. Therefore I'll say, I'll take V1 of S. I will multiply that with the block. So it is a multiplication. When some parameter moves through the block, it is your multiply. Multiply that block with 1 over R1 plus R2. And then I'll add that block. So this is the summing point. We call it as summing point. So these are the blocks and this is the summing point. Okay, I will add this block with another term where that will have a block R2 by R1 plus R2, and the parameter that gets multiplied with this R2 by R1 plus R2 is I2 of S. So this is plus, this is plus. Now the output of summing point will definitely be I1 of s. So this is the block diagram. If you see, I1 of s equals V1 of s into 1 over R1 plus R2 added with I2 of s into R2 by R1 plus R2 will be I1 of s. Okay. Now let me write the another second block for I2 of s here. So I have I1 of s coming here, and then it is getting multiplied with R2 by R2 plus R3 plus R4, and this will be equal to I2 of s. See, this is I2 of s coming out will be equal to I1 of s multiplied by R2 plus R3 plus R4. Finally, I have V2 V out of s, where I2 of s getting multiplied with R4, and that will be my V out of s. Okay. So now if I join all these 4 blocks, okay, if I try to join all these 4 blocks, means all these 3 blocks, how will I get? Okay, will I get the diagram? So let us see that. So the input is always V in of s. So we know that input is V in and output is V out. So V1 of s is the input multiplied by 1 over R1 plus R2 coming to a summing point, plus and plus, coming out is I1 of s. Now this I1 of s is getting multiplied by R2 plus R3. This I1 of s is getting multiplied by R2 plus R3 plus R4, and the output which is coming out here is I2 of s. The output coming out of that block is I2 of s. Now I2 of s is getting multiplied with R4, and the output would be V out of s. See, this is how we do it. Okay, V1 of s was still one more block is left. Let me write that. So V1 of s plus this will be I1 of s, but I1 of s multiplied by this will be I2 of s. I2 of s multiplied by this will be equal to V out of s. That is the complete block I have written here. Now coming to this, I1 of s is actually equal to R2 by R1 plus R2 multiplied by I2. Now this is the flow I2, therefore that comes here. So this is the complete block diagram for the given electrical network. So step by step equations, how I wrote, you analyzed it, and then finally how I joined all 3 blocks is what you should understand. Now the same network can also give rise to another block diagram. We'll see that now. So this is the network. I'll just copy the network. Just paste it somewhere else so that we can use it. Okay, I'll just take same current I1 and I2. So I'll just erase this. I don't need this. We'll write the KVL equation later. Okay, now again we'll take the same network with this to be equal to, I'll just write it here only. So this is V1 of s, and I have this is I1 of s, I2 of s, V out of s, and here we have Vx is what the voltage. Okay, now what is exactly I1? I1 is the current flowing through R1, right? I1 is the current flowing through R1. Therefore, I can say, I'll just write I1 of s as I1. Okay, to simplify simplicity. For simplicity, I'm writing this. I2 of s, I'll just write it as I2. Okay, so here current I1 would be equal to input voltage V1 of s minus Vx divided by R1, or else I can say I1 equals V1 of s divided by R1 minus Vx by R1. Minus Vx by R1. Now I got a block for I1. Okay, I got a block for I1. V1 is already there, which is the input. Now the next block which I need to draw is for Vx. See, this is the flow which you try to take in writing the equation. See, for writing the block, let me tell you, I'll just write the block for this, you will come to know. So I have V1 of S coming to 1 over R1. So this is 1 over R1. Then I am giving this to a summing point, and that should be given to another block which is 1 over R1, and that should be multiplied by Vx. So this is plus, this is minus, and that will give me I1. Now I need this Vx to be joined, right? I need Vx to be connected to this block to make that block complete. You can't leave any terminal open, input and output. In between any input and output, the block diagram should not be open. You can't leave any connection to be open. That is what you should keep in mind. So I need Vx to be connected here. So I need an equation for Vx. If you see that Vx is the voltage across R2, right? Voltage across R2 is Vx. Therefore, I can say Vx would be equal to I1 minus I2 multiplied by R2. So Vx would be equal to I1 minus I2 multiplied by R2, or I can say Vx is equal to I1 into R2 minus I2 into R2. So here I got what? So I keep on writing the block also. I think you will much understand much better. So here I have V1 of S given to 1 over R1 given to a summing point where this is plus, this is minus, because it is V1 of S by R1 minus Vx by R1. So this is R1, and I have got Vx. Now Vx is what? This is I1. So this is I1. Okay. Vx is I1 into R2 minus I2. I1 into R2 minus I2 into R2. I1 into R2 minus I2 into R2. So this is Vx. Now I'll write a separate block for Vx now. So I have I1 coming here multiplied by R2. Then I have a summing point. This is plus, this is minus. I have R2 which is getting multiplied with I2. So I1 into R2 minus I2 into R2 will be equal to Vx. Now this is the block for Vx. Okay, this is the block for the equation Vx which we wrote. Now the next block would be what? What I need for the next block is, I have I1 which is already been written here. I got Vx. Now the next block which I need to write is for I2. So let me see what would be the equation for I2 now. So the equation for I2 would be equal to, what is I2? I2 is the current flowing through R3. So therefore I'll say I2 equals Vx minus Vout by R3. I can do that, right? I2 equals Vx minus Vout by R3, which is equal to Vx by R3 minus Vout by R3. So therefore I would say the block diagram for this is, I have input is Vx multiplied by 1 over R3 given to a summing point where this is plus, this is minus, and this is again multiplied by 1 over R3, and Vout is what coming here, and this output what I get is I2. Okay. Now what is the last block? I think this is the last part. So Vout is what I need. Therefore Vout equals, I know that Vout is current through R4 multiplied by R4, therefore I2 into R4. Therefore I say I2 multiplied by R4 will give me Vout. So therefore we have written all the 4 blocks now. Now these 4 blocks we keep on, we will try to connect these 4 blocks step by step. Okay, so we'll see that now. So I am just using that 4 blocks here. to connect that step by step. So the first one is always V1 of S given to 1 over R4, sorry 1 over R1, and it's coming out to a summing point where I have another R1 which is coming to Vx. So we'll see that later. We'll take the point from for Vx later. Now this is I1, this is I1. Now if you see properly, where I1 will be connected now, the I1 will now be connected to R2. I1 will now be connected to R2, and then we have a summing point going to R2 plus minus, and we have another R2 here. Now this is I2. We'll see where we'll connect I2 from. But the output of this is what? Output of this is Vx. Output of this is Vx. Okay, now if you see Vx where it is connected, you can see in this block now. So this is the first block, second block. Now let us go to the third block. Now third block will give you Vx connected to 1 over R3, and that in turn connected to a summing point where plus minus, and that in turn connected to 1 over R3, and that is connected to V out. Now we'll see where is V out. Now the output which is coming out from this summing point is actually I2. Now I2 is connected to R4. So this is R4, and the output what is coming out here is V out. Now we see how we connect. Now this is 1 over R3 is connected to V out, right? So therefore this is V out, comes and connects here. Okay. Now this is R2 is connected to I2, right? Therefore there is a line comes from here. We will use a crossover so that it says it is not connected, and it is given to R2. Then we have Vx which is connected to, see here we have Vx connected to R1, therefore I'll take from Vx and I'll give it to R1. I'll take from Vx and I'll give it to R1. So this is the block diagram which you can still get for the same question which has been asked. Okay. Now the transfer function V out of S by V in of S, if I take V out of S by V in of S transfer function, if I take, now this V out of S by V in of S only possible if we learn what is the block diagram reduction techniques that we come across. Okay. So if you apply block diagram reduction techniques for this diagram and for the another diagram which we wrote earlier, for this diagram, you can see that the transfer function remains same for both the block diagrams. Because the circuit is same, we have written different block diagrams, that's it. So therefore for both the block diagrams, the transfer function V out of S by V in of S should remain same for the both block diagrams. Okay. Now my second question is, which would be the block which is much easier to solve? So that is how you need to write the block diagram for any given electrical network. I think that was the reason I wrote two different block diagrams here in my in this particular problem. So I have written this is one block diagram, this is one main block diagram, and you can see this, and this is the second main block diagram. This is the second diagram which I wrote for the same circuit. Now if you see this, the number of block reduction techniques that you will apply will be more for block diagram 2, whereas the number of block diagram reduction techniques that you apply for block 1 would be much lesser than the block diagram 2. Therefore the block diagram 1 which I have written is much easier, and that would be the simplest block diagram that we should write for this particular circuit which we have got. Okay. So this is how you people should think on writing the block diagram for any given electrical network. I hope with this problem, with these two block diagrams that I wrote, you are clear with the method how to write the block diagram for any given electrical network. So in my next video, we'll see what are the various steps that are being used to reduce the block diagram, so that finally we'll be able to get the transfer function for a given block diagram that is being mentioned in the question. Thank you.